Hey guys, it's me Kiana. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of this video, we are going to be doing my February wrap-up. In the month of February, I read 7 books. I have 4 physical copies here with me, and then 3 that are one was an ebook, 1 was an audiobook, and then 1 was a graphic novel. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the video. For those who don't know how I do my wrap-ups, I do them in the order that I read them. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. The first book that I read this month was The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and this is the second book in the Land of Fae, I think it's called, something like that. The first book is called The Cruel Prince, and in that one, in both of these, we follow a girl named Jude, and Jude was brought to the Faeland when she was about 7 years old with her twin sister Taryn and her older sister Vivian. And when she was 7, she witnessed her mother and her father being murdered by her older half-sister Vivi's father, and because he killed them, he felt that taking the girls was his responsibility, because, you know, he did end up killing his mother, their mother, and all of that. So she goes to the Faeland, and she's treated as she is Fae royalty because, you know, Madoc, which is Vivi's father, is the king's general. And because of that, nobody dares to do anything to the twins in front of Madoc, but when the girls are at their lessons or anything, they practically get abused. And we follow that timeline, and I honestly love that book. And in this book, it takes place 5 months after what happens in The Cruel Prince, and the ending killed me. This was a 5 out of 5 stars. I want the Queen of Air and Nothing so freaking bad. Like, if you haven't started the series, you need to. You can catch up because book 3 comes out next month, and I love these Barnes & Noble exclusive editions. So when you take off the dust jacket, it has that, which is the underworld. We get more of the underworld in this series, and I absolutely love this, and this was a 5 out of 5 stars. So the second book I read to continue on with my Shadowhunter series, that was Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, book 1 in the Dark Artifacts trilogy, and this takes place about 5 years after the ending of City of Family Fire, which is somewhere over there. And we follow Emma Carson, Julian Blackthorne, and the rest of the Blackthorne gang, which we are introduced in City of Family Fire. And this story is about them, that someone is killing mundanes, fae, and they basically have to find out who's doing this within 2 weeks before they get targeted. And when they said who it was, messed me up, because I honestly didn't think it was that guy. But when he said that one thing, we should have known it was him, but we didn't, so that messed me up. But I honestly love this, and this was another 5 out of 5 stars. I then listened to In an Absent Dream by Shannon McGuire. This is book 4 in the Every Heart a Doorway series, and this follows Lundy, which is the teacher, or the psychiatrist, something like that. And it's basically her world. She is the daughter of the principal, and her world is basically the goblin market, that everything's a fair deal. Like, it might be a fair deal to you, but it's not a fair deal to me, and you can only take 4 depths before you turn into a bird. And I honestly loved it. Some children only go into their worlds 2 times, but Lundy went in about 3 or 4, and the last time that she went, she wanted to stay there forever, but it wasn't a fair deal for the someone that she made the bargain with her sister. And I absolutely love this. I read it, I listened to it in a day, and that was a 4 out of 5 stars, I think. The fourth book I read was The Midnight Star by Marie Lu. This is the 3rd and final book in the, what the hell is it called? What is it called? The Young Elites trilogy, and I am majority caught up with all of Marie Lu's books. I just have to read the Batman one. And this series follows a girl named Adelina, and Adelina is born into a world of Malfettos. That basically, when they were younger, the blood fever swept through the nation, and if you survived, you were left with some kind of mark and a power that you were declared a Malfetto, and you were basically trash. And I absolutely love this series so freaking much. Marie Lu did us dirty with the way that she ended it, but that was a 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. I don't honestly remember, but you know, my Goodreads is always linked down below, so you can check that out yourself. I then read for my 5th book, Lumberjanes Volume 5, Band Together, and In the beginning, we basically get the introduction of how the girls met, April, Joe, all of them, and how they became best friends, and how April and Joe know each other. And then we're introduced to the mermaid folks or mer people down by the lake, and April tries really hard to get to the mer people together to be friends, and she ends up actually making shit worse. But I honestly love that so much, and that was a 4 out of 5 stars. The 6th book I read so I can finally be caught up with Rick Riordan's books. I read The Burning Maze, which is book 3 in the Trials of Apollo series. And then this one we follow Apollo, Meg, and Grover while they travel through the labyrinth to get to, I think it's like Florida, Palm Springs, something like that, to try to find the beginning of the Burning Maze. But they end up going to California, where they see Piper and Jason, which we know from the Heroes of Olympus series. And I was spoiled. I actually spoiled myself with who ends up dying. And I didn't cry that much when that person died, but when another person died, I cried. And it's basically Apollo has to save the like puzzle like prophecy that she gives you, prophecies in the word of puzzles that you have to put together. And the next book is called The Tyrant's Tome, and we're going to be having Lorena, which we're also introduced to in the Heroes of Olympus series, in that series, as we're going to have her in that book as well. I love that we met up with Grover, and Grover's finally going back to Camp Half-Blood, and hopefully we can see Percy and Annabeth together. But yeah, we have 2 more books after this one, and I hopefully can buy them on whatever Tyrant's Tome comes out in like May. We don't even have a cover reveal yet, but I'm honestly excited, and this was a 4 out of 5 stars. The 7th and final book I read was my December book of the month pick, and that was One Day in December by Josie Silver. Now, this is my first ever adult contemporary romance, and I absolutely love this. Before I go on to what this is about, I did rate this a 4 out of 5 stars. This follows 2 people, Lori O'Malley and Jack, I forgot what his last name is. And in like 2009 or something like that, they see each other at a bus stop. They basically just like love at first sight with them, but then Jack does not get on the bus. And Lori spends a year trying to go after looking for him. And her best friend Sarah ends up bringing Jack home and says that's the love of her life, best sex she's ever had. And Lori is distraught. Now, we followed them through a course of years up into 2017, and oh my god, the ending killed me. I did hate who Lori was with for a while because he tried to basically control her with everything, but I did love their friendships, how they tried to stay friends even though they were with different people. This book was just life, and I absolutely loved this. So I honestly have to say February was like my most high rated books ever because I honestly loved everything that I read, you know, with a few exceptions that like happened inside the book. But that is all for today's video. I'll be leaving here 2 videos I honestly feel like you guys should go check out. Don't forget I post Mondays and Thursdays. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys Thursday with my TBR. Bye guys.